Buses are one of the oldest forms of mass transit behind sailing ships. They kind of exist in the background, unnoticed, right up until you need to take a bus somewhere. So we're going to go searching for some weird about taking the bus on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. First, like, subscribe, and share the channel. Now, when I was in grade school, I used to get out of school, get on the bus from Redondo Beach, California, and ride it for like 45 minutes to Marina del Rey. My brother and I would do our homework on the bus, and then we skated at a skateboard park till 9 o'clock at night. My oldest brother was one of the early skate pros, and that was our life. The bus was awesome back then. What's your bus story? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we all need to know. Buses are large vehicles designed to carry passengers along a predetermined route, providing an essential mode of public transportation in cities, towns, and rural areas worldwide. They come in various sizes and configurations, ranging from small minibuses to double-decker and articulated buses, capable of carrying hundreds of passengers. Typically powered by diesel, gasoline, or increasingly electric and hybrid engines, buses are a cost-effective and efficient means of moving large groups of people. They operate on fixed schedules with designated stops where passengers can board or disembark. Urban buses often provide frequent service, while long-distance buses, sometimes called coaches, offer intercity and cross-country travel with fewer stops. Buses play a crucial role in reducing traffic, congestion, and minimizing the environmental impact of individual car travel. They are part of broader public transit systems that include trains, subways, and trams, helping cities function more smoothly by offering accessible transportation options for residents and visitors. In addition to public transit, buses serve various other purposes, such as school transportation, shuttle services, and tour operations. Their versatility, affordability, and capacity makes buses a vital component of modern transportation infrastructure, contributing significantly to mobile and urban planning across the globe. Weird thing number 5. Buses by the numbers. Every day, around 16 billion people worldwide ride the bus. That's right, billions willingly cram into giant metal tubes that smell like gym socks marinated in despair. Think about it. Every sunrise, an army of humans drags themselves aboard these lumbering beasts, clutching lukewarm coffee, hoping the seat they choose isn't cursed with mystery stains or a surprise gum deposit. It's not just the brave souls that, in major cities, people from all walks of life, from mega metropolises to tiny villages, all participate in this grand ritual of public humiliation. It's like we've collectively agreed to suffer together, as if bonding over the mutual experience of bad brakes, questionable odors, and that one guy who thinks headphones are optional. In cities like Tokyo or New York, people squeeze into buses like sardines, if sardines were exhausted commuters with dead eyes and existential crisis. Everywhere in rural areas, people still ride buses, except it might be shared with livestock because, well, why the hell not? Nothing says commute like staring down a goat that's nibbling on your backpack. Every day, the cacophony of life plays out on buses. Babies screaming like tiny banshees, teenagers blasting bad music, and that one guy coughing in a way that makes everyone reconsider their life choices. And yet we board because the alternative, paying for gas, sitting in traffic, or walking, feels like a rigged game. In the end, buses are the unsung heroes of mass transit. Dirty, loud, crowded, and occasionally soul-crushing. Yet somehow we survive. Slightly traumatized, but connected to the shared knowledge that no one ever really wins on the bus. So the next time you're stuck between the person eating tuna from a can and someone who smells like old milk, remember, you're one of 16 billion survivors in the world's most chaotic social experiment. Weird thing number 4. There are weird buses. Buses are supposed to be boring, big metal boxes hauling sweaty humans from point A to point B with all the charm of a dented dumpster. But around the world, some buses break the mold, becoming rolling weirdness that would make even the most jaded commuter raise an eyebrow. Take Japan's cat bus. Yes, like the one from My Neighbor Totoro, except that it's real and terrifyingly adorable. Imagine sitting in traffic while a fuzzy monstrosity with giant googly eyes rolls past. It's both whimsical and the stuff of nightmares, especially if you've had too much sake. And then there's the party bus variety in Las Vegas. It's not just a bus, it's a mobile rave where inhibitions go to die. Neon lights flash, the bass thumps, and somewhere in the back, someone is losing their wallet and their dignity simultaneously. If you've ever wanted to feel like a human disco ball, this is your ride. Over in the Netherlands, they have an amphibious bus that drives straight into the river. You're cruising along, suddenly you're sinking, except you're not. It's like a group therapy session for hydrophobia, where everyone panics before laughing nervously and realizing they aren't going to drown. Probably. But the chicken bus in Guatemala takes the crown for chaotic energy. It's an old US school bus decked out like a Mardi Gras float on steroids, blasting music and packed with people, chickens, and whatever else fits. It's a rolling zoo where the only rule is don't fall out. These buses aren't just transportation, they are life experiences that smell like regret, sweat, and occasionally wet poultry. So whether it's a fuzzy cat nightmare or a booze-fueled rave on wheels, the buses remind us the ride can always get weirder. Buckle up or don't. Most of them don't have seatbelts. Weird thing number 3.
Australian Highway 1 is not just a highway, it is the world's longest continuous highway at 14,500 kilometers, wrapping the entire country of Australia like a tired, beer-bellied uncle clutching a belt. And on this endless stretch of asphalt, buses do roam, though calling it a route is generous. It's less of a bus service and more of a rolling purgatory for travelers who did not read the fine print. Imagine spending 72 hours with a bus driver who's a cigarette-fueled philosopher, waxing poetic about why emus are the true rulers of the land. The passengers? A mix of backpackers questioning their life choices, locals who missed their last flight 20 years ago, and one guy inexplicably traveling with a chicken in a cardboard box. Every so often, somebody suggests they stop for a piss and a meat pie, the official Australian roadside ritual. The scenery is breathtaking, although after 1,000 kilometers of bush and outback, it starts to feel like a screensaver from 2002. The highlight? The occasional kangaroo bouncing past like it's mocking you for thinking this trip was a good idea. And let's not forget the roadhouses. Half diner, half potential crime scenes, where the coffee tastes like regret and the only Wi-Fi password is "screw you, buy a beer." Breakdowns are a feature, not a bug. The bus pulls over, smoke billowing from the engine, while everyone pretends to be calm but secretly wonders if this is where they'll meet the ghost of a swagman. The driver, unfazed, lights another dart and mutters something about calling Barry, as if Barry is Australia's version of Batman. Highway 1 is not just a bus route, it's an initiation. You don't ride it to get somewhere, you ride it to see how much of your soul remains after sharing a toilet with 40 strangers in 95-degree heat.
Weird thing number 2. Bus safety. Now, bus safety isn't something most people think about. Bus and safety don't seem to occur to you until you're riding through rush hour, your face pressed against a window that's probably never seen Windex. But let's dive into the joys of bus safety and see what it really means to survive this rolling death trap. First, let's talk about standing while the bus is moving. It's like a twisted game of balance, where every time the bus jerks to a stop, you're one bad step away from either slamming into someone's sweaty armpit or eating the floor. Grab the pole, hold on for dear life, and pray you don't become the next viral video of someone doing a very public faceplant. Then there's seatbelts, or the complete lack thereof. In most buses, they're about as common as common sense at a frat party. And when they do exist, they're more decorative than functional. So while the bus sways around corners like a drunk uncle at a wedding, remember, you're probably not strapped in. But that does make the ride feel a little more exciting. Like a low-budget roller coaster with fewer screams and a lot more regret. If you're lucky enough to sit, then brace yourself for sticky seats. It's not just sweat, it's the accumulated gunk of hundreds of previous passengers who also made the decision to sit because somehow standing and risking falling into the person next to you is worse than clinging to the seat like you're about to be trapped in a viral worst public transport moment video. Then there's the driver. They're the brave soul who has to deal with the chaos of an overcrowded bus full of people who just learned how to yell about their bad day. If you've ever caught a bus driver's eye during a traffic jam, you'll see it. The look of someone who knows they're one too many honks away from just snapping. Bus safety is a joke. The only thing guaranteed is that you'll survive it, most likely. And finally, weird thing number 1, bus crime. Bus crime isn't just something you read about in the news, it's the reality you face every time you step into a bus. It's like a lawless jungle where every ride is a potential crime scene, and you, my friend, are the unsuspecting victim. The next time you think, I'm taking a bus, just remember you're entering a zone where personal space is a myth and the survival of the fittest is the only rule. First, There's actual crime, the classic pickpocketing, where your wallet is accidentally lifted by someone who's been practicing sleight of hand for years. You'll realize your hard-earned cash is gone when the bus lurches to a stop and the person sitting next to you looks suspiciously satisfied with their newfound wealth. Don't worry though. This crime is practically a rite of passage. Just chalk it up to a life lesson in never trusting the person who's breathing a little too heavily on your shoulder. Then, there's the theft of personal space. You think you're safe with your headphones in, pretending to listen to music? Wrong. The real crime here is the uninvited person who slowly slides into your seat bubble like they're trying to merge with you. You'll feel their body heat before you see them, and by the time you realize it's too late, their knee is suspiciously touching yours and they have a bulge in their pants that may or may not be a weapon. But let's not forget the horror of public indecency. Some people don't just flaunt their questionable life choices, they expose them to the world. And suddenly, the bus becomes a noble crime scene where someone's given a performance in the back row, and no one knows whether to call the cops or just pretend they don't see it. You'll never look at the back of the bus the same way again. Bus crime is real, it's raw, and it's unavoidable. Not all these crimes are illegal, but they should be. Welcome to the chaotic world of public transportation, where the only thing more criminal than your fellow passengers is the bus fare. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you got all excited about taking a bus trip. Good luck with that. Do me a favor and watch some more of these videos. Take care. Have a great day.